My youngest and I have picked a huge amount of beans. In fact, there's even more down there at the moment that we've missed, so I'll probably let those go to seed. But these ones here are destined for the freezer, which is the easiest way of quickly preserving them up that I've found. So I'm going to do that in the kitchen, and we will show you how we preserve them up so we have them on hand when they're not in season. G'day there, it's Rachel here from Bushedge Homesteading Australia with my eldest today, and we have a whole bunch of beans to deal with, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Although not as many beans as there was before, because what's been happening to them? You've been munching on them all, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
But that's all right, we still have plenty to preserve up, and we are going to do this the quickest way that we do beans, and that is by freezing. So the first thing we need to do is give them a bit of a wash. So do you actually want to take those over to the sink? And I'm going to get out the strainer, and that's the quickest way to wash them up. That's the one I want. This one's actually pretty nifty because what you can do is sit it over the sink and then all the bits and bobs kind of fall out the bottom. But I can't set that up with one hand, so do you want to set that up? Awesome. And then it's just a matter of popping the beans in there, and we'll give them a bit of a wash off. That should do it, because to be honest, these beans were hanging on the plant. We had rain a couple of days ago, and that means they're already pretty clean. So I'll just give that a bit of a shake off to get out the excess water. And then I'm just gonna dump those here on the bench, and that way my eldest can start preparing those for freezing while I do a bit more washing up. But do you want to show how we actually prepare those so that they can go into the freezer bags?
So here I just pull the top off, put it into the worms over here, and then just put it to the side over here.
Yeah, and then all those ones, the ones will freeze up.
Mm-hmm. And then I just need to keep on working like a conveyor belt.
Yes, there's a few to work through today, isn't there?
Yeah, there's quite a few to work through.
And to make it quicker, I'm going to keep on washing beans. That one is the final lot. Woo! Better not mix up with your ones. There we go. You're making quick work of those already. Do you want their hand with snapping?
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Oops, sorry. Some of them I already snapped outside when picking with your brother. Let's get that out of the way. We don't really need that one today, do we? You're getting a gigantic pile of beans here. You need the room.
I nearly put a bean in the wrong container.
Is it being in the wrong place? Your face. Now, the reason that we like to prepare them like this is because of how we like to use them in the, oops, now I'm putting the wrong bits in the wrong places, how we like to use them in the winter. So these ones here will get used mainly in our stews. So I'd like to do a lot of stews in the winter time, just on top of the fire. They kind of slow cook throughout the day, and that's actually a really handy one when we're working and it's a school day as well for the kids. And I can just grab a bunch of these straight out of the freezer bags, put them in the stews, and they cook up wonderfully. I will say that they don't have the same texture when you freeze them up, and especially because of the way that I do them, I don't blanch. So a lot of people do kind of blanch their beans, and Then they put them in the freezer, and that's supposed to change the texture. I've never bothered doing that. Honestly, it's a time thing for us. I find that for the way we use them, this is perfectly fine. But yeah, you wouldn't be eating them straight out of their bag or anything in like a salad or anything like that, like we do in the summertime after they've been frozen. But good in soups, good in stews.
And they're good while still frozen as well.
Oh yeah, you need to explain how you like to eat these.
Yeah, I think they taste pretty nice while frozen, I'll be honest.
You go straight to the freezer, don't you? And you pick those straight out when they're frozen and you just munch on them, don't you?
Yeah.
Is that your favourite way of eating them?
Personally, yes.
Actually, the other thing I should mention with these is we are snapping off the tops, but you're probably noticing we're not actually kind of pulling off strings or anything like that, because these ones are a stringless variety of beans and they are lazy housewives. What was that?
We're almost done.
Awesome. Last couple.
Yeah, and that should be it.
That means it's time to bag them up. Now, when it comes to the bags, there's a couple of different ones that I am going to be using. There's these ones here, which are the reusable ones. I did get those, it was a few years ago from, I think it was Woolworths. And those ones there, I did find in the very, very first year that I used them, they had this, it was almost like a plasticky sort of scent that then imparted into the flavour of the beans. So I must admit, I've given them a really good smell and even more of a clean. I thought I'd clean them really well when I used them last time, but I've cleaned them really, really well. And yeah, hopefully I don't get that issue again. But yeah, do just keep that in mind if you do use these. Maybe give them a bit of extra cleaning beyond what you think you need to do. So we'll fill those two up. And we're going to have way more beans than it's going to fill into these two. So I've also got some of these ones here, which are the large kind of more sustainable plastic, but they're just plastic Ziploc bags, and those are the freezer ones. So yeah, we'll just package those up now. As I said before, not blanching them or anything like that. It literally is as simple as kind of topping them and then just popping them in the bags.
Trying to keep them as lengthways as I possibly can to maximize how many we can get in a single bag.
That's a good tip too. That's those ones done. And do you want to fill up the plastic one too? Mm-hmm.
And
then done.
Yeah, just need to close it up.
So you want to get as much air out as possible when you do that too. Just kind of reduces the chances of freezer burn. Now with this one here, because it's not completely full, what we'll probably do is just keep picking and adding to that bag until it is full up. So those now will just go straight into the freezer. What I'll probably do is once it starts freezing a little bit, I'll just move them around a little bit, and that way they don't stick together into big chunky bits, particularly considering they are a little bit wet because of washing them off and we didn't dry them completely. And yeah, then we'll just pull them out, use them in the winter time when we need beans for stews and for soups. So hopefully you enjoyed following along as we showed you the absolutely simplest way that we do the preserving of the beans. And to be honest, this is the way that we do the majority of them. So as always, guys, thanks a bunch for joining and
catch you later.